It's good to be back, and it's nice to have you back. So before I get onto the fishing, I want to say a massive thank you to the international fans once again, all trying to compete against each other to get that number 2 spot, which gets your country's flag colours as my subtitles. And Belgium's gone and done it. Came from absolutely nowhere. Bedankt voor het kijkje. So as soon as I get to Lodge Farm, this is the first place I go to because I'm absolutely starving. It's first thing in the morning. You see these two lovely ladies. They also do these fancy pies. So I decided to treat myself to one. I got goose and red wine, and this is it after I cooked it. Looked absolutely amazing and it tasted even better. So why don't you try one? Absolutely fantastic value. And where else are you going to get a goose and red wine pie? As always, T-Nucks on tour.
Up the T-Nucks!
So, much to Gary Brooks's despair, I've drawn peg 89 again. This is the peg that I should have won the match on but went over in the net. So I get a second bite at that cherry, as we would say. Let's see how we get on. So, I'm definitely going to throw up to the top left hand margin with a hybrid feeder with micros and a 5mm pellet. I'm also going to run top kit +4 with paste and the left margin with paste as well, just as I did last time. Those two won me the match last time, so why would I not? However, I didn't throw to that left margin, but I'm definitely going to try that this time in the first 20 minutes to half an hour. So I've thrown in the hybrid feeder. I'm doing a bit of a slow-mo here and a bit of zoomage because I know you love that stuff. And you're just going to see that tip start to bend round. It's a sign we all want to see, especially on the rod. And what I'm having to do is hit those fish and immediately pull to the right and start winding. No clutch, just on the tag. I'm not giving them anything because there's all these reeds that they can get into and snags to the left. I have literally got to drag them out. These fish at Lodge Farm are super powerful. I don't know what kind of strain they are. They must be like Rocky Balboa strain, but they will pull your arm off and they will easily get in snags, reeds, round your keep nets, a job lot. So you've got to just hold on. Hold on, be brave, keep winding and hope they don't get off. I don't like to be as brutal as that personally. I love the battle with the fish. But these fish show no mercy. They do not care. And they will just get into anything they possibly can. So you've just got to be a little bit brutal with this method when you're near reeds and things like that at Lodge Farm. So here is the 5mm pellet I'm using. It's a Speedy Washter. I'm not sponsored by Dynamite, but I love their products. The 5mm is perfect. It doesn't matter where I take this. I'm just really confident that I'm going to get a fish. And this is just a Matrix hybrid feeder. I love them because they're super simple to use. Put in a few micros. I've got, I think it's 2 or 3 inch hook length with a 16 QM1 hook. That's a Guru. And there we are. Come on, Paul. You're on camera. Don't show yourself up here, lad. Boom. Simply lovely. So while the rod's in, I've decided to prep my paste up. And in the corner of my eye, I can see the rod about to go. So I've quickly gripped it. Fish on. So this is a 9-foot Drennan Acolyte Power Plus, I think it's called. Unbelievable rod. I've got quite a lot of rods. My Browning Sphere rods are my most favourite, but this is the one I tend to use the most because I can just give it as much hammer as I like. It just takes it. Now the beauty about this rod is because it's a real soft rod, I can have a tag on, and it's very difficult for that fish to just break me on the off because the rod will just keep bending and take it like a shock absorber. Now, if this was a stiffer rod, these fish should have a really good chance of breaking me as soon as they pick that up and run without any clutch, basically. Look at this. Now the downside to having a soft rod is when you bring them in close, they can go under your keep nets and under your pallet, and there's not really much you can do other than hold on and pray you can drag them out again. Just like that. So, the Acolyte giveth and the Acolyte taketh away. However, in this particular scenario, I feel the benefits definitely outweigh. So, yeah. Anybody who I know has got one of these Acolyte rods is absolutely in love with them, and I would never part with it, I'll be honest. Such a good rod. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, please, 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 for the love of God, press it now. I want to have 350 likes. I'm desperate. I'm so desperate, it's unbelievable. I am begging you, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, why not? It's completely free. I don't want you to miss any of my future videos, and you get loads of cool tips like I'm showing you in this video. So please hit the subscribe button and definitely hit the like button. Thank you so much. Look at this. Fish on. It's not often you see me on the rod in my videos. I love catching a fish on the rod, however, I don't like to just sit around waiting for something to happen, which is why I do use the pole a lot. I get a lot of information from my float and stuff like that. I can gauge if the fish are up in the water or down on the deck. But I've been throwing this out purely because I wanted to keep catapulting at the top, well, at 13 meters actually, to see if I could catch any fish up in the water. But the rod just keeps going round. So obviously you don't leave feeding fish. So I'm just going to keep throwing this out until I feel like, you know, that swim's kind of died off or they've moved on. So I'm happy that I'm getting the hybrid feeder in roughly the same, you know, area. Accuracy is important, especially with feeder fishing. And this is what happens. You keep putting it in the same place, you start getting a better bait down and keep getting bites. This fish is really pulling. It was a real tug of war with some of these. Even the clutch is going. So in true lodge form style, the fish is trying to pull me in when I'm trying to get him out. They do not stop. It's a big reason why I keep coming back. How can you not enjoy this? A real good laugh, all the anglers there, a proper sound. The fishing's amazing. Even Billy, the guy that owns it, is kinda nice. A smidge. I mean, not too nice, obviously, but a smidge nice. Trying to get under my platform again. There would a bit of bleeping going off there. I would have thought if I weren't talking over this. Right, little buggers. So this little powerhouse is the size of fish I would love to catch every time. It's a good £4 or £5. If the fish were like that every chuck, it's a line I would stay on the whole time. You would not leave a line that's giving you fish as large as that. But majority of fish were nowhere near as big as that. I've cut out the throw. I'm just going straight to the bite on this one. And look at that rod go. Such an epic rod. Feel all the fight.
I've got that on video, mate. Your street cred's gone now, that's all on vid.
So you can hear me laughing away here, and that's what it's like here. The banter is top notch. Gary's winding me up about being in the corner. He's trying to ruffle my feathers, get in my head. Bearing in mind he's absolutely emptying it at the moment on the micros paste. But like I say, it's another great reason to come and fish here. The banter is brilliant. It's another cracking fish, but it's time to rest that line for a little bit, and let's see what's in that margin. I did put a load of micros in it, probably 20 minutes before I went down. And this is just a little look, just to see how big the fish are, and if it's worth putting any more effort into it really. So if you notice, every fish that I've hit so far, whether it be on the rod or this one on the pole now, they're all trying to pull left into them reeds. And this is what I'm saying, you've got to hit the fish and instantly pull to the right. You can see where those ripples are at the top left, that's how far it's got. And this is a 14 to 16 elastic, but they just rip it out like it's not even there. It probably won't even be a big fish. They're just super strong fish in here. But you've got to be brave. If you give them an inch, they'll take it and they'll absolutely snag you up. So he's foul looked by the side, by the look of it, coming up by the side. So there we are, just above the fin in the side of the body, definitely foul looked. Now it's important that you take notice of this stuff, because it gives you a lot of clues of whether they want that bait or not. So I'm using a T-nut ratty paste float. I've got one number 8 down the middle of the line and one number 8 under the float, and that's the 14 to 16 elastic I'm using. So I'm on the green swim stim paste. Super simple fishing like in the last video you saw me doing here. This is how we learn from the swims that we've been in before. We learn what worked and what didn't work, and every bit of that's important. So again, I've hit that fish, trying to drag him round as much as I can. So another carp that's trying to get under my nets. I mean, I've got quite a lot of elastic out in the puller already, but they will still try it, and they've got that much power in them, it's really difficult to stop them here. So where have we got this one? Right, we've got that one in the mouth, so that's good. So we're on 1 for 1. So this is the ground bait that I use as paste. The Swim Stim B10 Green, the original green mix. It's as simple as that. Does not get any easier than that. Don't have to be a perfect ball or anything like that. And you've seen it in all my, well, quite a lot of my videos recently. It's been an absolutely devastating way to fish and get a real good weight. So fish on again. Again, it's trying its hardest to get into those reeds to the left. So it's not a big fish, but it is in the mouth. I mean, that was quite a big ball of paste I put on. You'd expect a bigger fish than that. But these fish here are pretty greedy. So straight back in. And fish on again.
Bad liar, Craig.
So it's another power struggle. This one might be foul hooked. It's been fighting quite a long time. And with the way that elastic is coming out and those ripples there, I would say it's probably in the tail or under its belly. Let's have a look. Our survey says under the belly. It's not where you want them to be. You want it in the mouth. So that's the second one now I've had that's foul hooked. So the way that elastic is only coming out a little bit and then shuddering, that tells me this fish is probably, yeah, it's foul hooked. And that's why it's took off at 1,000 miles an hour, making it really tough to stop. And goodbye. We've all been there a million billion times. I ended up losing about 10 carp throughout this match through foul looking. And I didn't get that many in the mouth. Let's have a look at the weighing. Let's see how we got on.
Yeah, simply lovely. Well done, Craig. I'll edit that out.
To Gary. They've done you, Dan. 45, 6. That's fine. Your nuts are really heavy considering they're 8 small.
Some good fish in there.
Some plonking fish. Like that.
Well done.
40 pounds.
Who's got him on pace? Who's taught him that?
Can't teach him how. Did I tell you that time he lost how many wins for it, Gary? Wagglers 18.
God, that's an expensive day, that one.
No, the Oakland sales about 6 wagglers.
Did you?
44.
30 quid worth of wagglers.
Funnily enough, next back,
Yeah.
his dad won it
Yeah.
off the same peg.
Did it? Why don't you have any opens on that one?
Because they're all yellow. They don't want to go on that one.
I do, I want to go on it at least once. Cracking fish. Proper fish.
Them in top pond are not as big as them.
Yeah.
4 times as
Did
ours.
it? That's nuts, isn't it?
36.6.
Well done, Walker. The end peg giveth and the end peg taketh away. They fought hard, them little fish today.
Same strain
Are they?
as top pond and sandmark.
Yeah. Yeah, they fought hard, them little buggers.
They're looping. Oh, you don't want £40 too.
£40. Well, geez, they were just lining it all the time. I was foul hooked, everything. Everything on rod, nicely at mouth, but everything on pole, foul hooked. They didn't want paste in my peg, but then Gary's emptied it on paste.
Is he?
Yeah. He's used micro paste, you know micros?
Yeah. 22.3. 22.
Yeah, we've all struggled today. Apart from Gary who was emptying it. You gonna want paste in?
One.
Yeah.
Other on
Yeah.
4 mils per litre.
Yeah. Did you foul hook a lot today?
No, I haven't done 19.10. Funny bites on that.
Is it really? Wow, that's been super tough here then.
20 quid.
Yeah. Idiot. He got a rusty nail in his knee and didn't realise. Yeah, what an holiday. It's flipping 5 times bigger. He's got elephant leg now. I had £40 exactly, Dave.
That's your first hour, didn't you?
I had £18 at first hour on rod hour, right chuffed, like, oh, this is good, this, and then...
I thought when I was watching you, I thought...
Oh, I don't really like mushrooms anyway, they're pretty, yeah.
Don't eat them, mate.
That killed you in 10 minutes or less.
Well, it makes you full. I don't think it'll kill you,
yeah.
but it
Not very
full.
great for you. Them big red uns over there.
Yeah. I guess the 23. Don't eat them either.
Well, anything red's usually not great for you.
So for me, fishing is not just about fish, it's being outside, surrounded by nature, seeing incredible wildlife, and seeing stuff like this. And if you know what these mushrooms are, I would love it if you could tell me. So please hit the comment button and tell me what they are. But until then, go fishing. Catch some fish, see some wildlife, take in that fresh air, take your family and friends with you. They might just love it. Anyway, back to the fishing and back to the weights. Massive well done to Gary Brooks, who's won the match with £120 and 9 ounces. Before we sat down, he said he'd had something like 3 or 4 second places on the trot, and I said, well, maybe you're due a win, and he's got it. He never really ever fishes pace as well, so he's learned that, you know, if you want to get those wins, he's going to have to step it up and try something he don't usually do. So well done on you, Gary. I've managed to get my section with £40, and I'll take that. So woulda, coulda, shoulda. Well, if I'd not thrown my rod at this top left-hand corner, I definitely would not have had that £30. My margin has let me down terribly with just £10. And my best line last time out, the top kit +4, got me £0. Not one fish off it. So what a difference a couple of weeks makes. I think with that winter transition coming in now, it's definitely going to be a bit tougher. It might be an introduction of maggots, worms, casters now. Maybe even a smaller soft pellet like a 4mm. So who knows, we'll see that in the future videos and see how we get on with it. So like I said, like and subscribe. It's the only way you're going to know how I got on with it. If you would like to support me further, go on to coffee.com/PaulWilkinsonTV. There will be a link in the description below. Hit the donate button and give what you can. It helps me with match fees, travel costs, all that kind of stuff, even new equipment, and it helps me do more videos for you. So I really would appreciate it. If not, a good like is more than enough. If you'd like to buy any of the floats you see me using in any of my videos, go onto Facebook, like this page, I'll approve it. It's £1.35 per float and £1.35 for delivery, unless specified otherwise, which is an insane bargain. I mean, the average float now in a tackle shop is probably £2.50 each. So come on, you've seen them for yourself in my videos. What have you got to lose? You might just fall in love with them, like me. But until next time, tight lines and sithy.
Hello, your call cannot be taken at the moment, so please leave your message after the tone.